that you actually want to lose the dice roll.
At least not to tell your opponent what you're on.
Yeah, you don't want to have to like let your opponent know that you're choosing to go second. You'd rather they win the dice roll and think it was their choice, you know?
Yeah, exactly, because it's quite telling once you have won a dice roll on a double 6 and you have to be like, well, this doesn't mean anything for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. You have to like put the idea in their brain that they chose to go first rather than the fact that they never had a choice, you know?
Yeah, Prosperity Reveal Prosperity is not ideal, but doesn't really matter. We've got lots of options here. Ariana for our normal summon, or we can get a trap off of the trap trick. Looks like we will be going for that Ariana.
Yeah, at least you get 4 other cards. Interesting, I've seen a lot of players cut Prosperity from the deck list because you want to have that really consistent hit from Backjack. Yeah. You also want to make sure all of your cards, if possible, going second are just live.
Yeah, any kind of interaction that you can have on your opponent's turn is always going to be helpful, and Prosperity doesn't really help you with that compared to the conventional sort of mid-range combo deck where you would like to have Prosperity as more of an extender should your opponent stop you, or digging for that consistency. But this is still pretty decent here. We've got the Lady down with Ariana, 3 back row, despite the imperm from Robert here. He'll be drawing to 5 cards, and we'll see if he can make quick work of this field as we begin with Fenrir.
Fenrir again, not giving much away. You could still be playing basically any deck.
Yeah.
With Fenrir in it. Like, I mean, I haven't seen people put Fenrir in a Labrynth deck, but you could. Yeah.
Okay, Skill Drain is quite rough here.
Yeah, that's really nasty, actually.
Yeah. Do we have a way to like play under this? Like, it would literally just have to. Sangan something won't even work actually because it's activated card effects. We're being continuously negated right now, and it's just a shame because he actually does have the Sangan summoning.
Yeah, I was going to say, it protects your dragons from activated effects. It doesn't protect your dragons' activated effects. It protects them from activated effects, right? So Skill Drain does stop it.
Wait, Skill Drain does?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, right, okay. It's a shame we didn't get any value off of the Lady, you know, maybe activating something like a Welcome or Big Welcome just to get the set from the deck. But unfortunately, not getting too much out of this, but can't really complain once you've established Skill Drain.
Yeah, I think once the Skill Drain is resolved, you're kind of happy no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, you're just... Against Tenpai, I think, like, dodging, like, something like a Lightning Storm is... You're happy once the, you know...
Yeah, absolutely.
Once you see your opponents... Because I feel like the engine matches up quite nicely for Labrynth, but... Like, Tenpai is playing all these nasty cards like Lightning Storm that you really don't want to see. So I think once you see your opponents playing Tenpai and they have a Lightning Storm, you're kind of in the clear.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Robert here going for the quick play, getting the Chandra, I believe, to the hand here. And we're having a little think on resolution as we flip up Dogmatica Punishment, actually.
That was good. I was really struggling to see what that was upside down. I was like, can you please put it the right way up so I can see it? But
do you think we play our trap cards upside down so that I think they're easier to see for you, right? When you flip it up,
it's easier to see for your opponent. Yeah, now.
Yeah, so he's doing Robert a favor here by letting him read his punishment. Should put the Skill Drain as well upside down just to make sure he can double back on that. Yeah, so we are going to be sending Untis after targeting the Fenrir here. Did we set to the middle column there? Was that a...
I don't know where that card... I thought he didn't set in the middle. Maybe he just had an extra card from somewhere.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So this... I think...
Oh, I think he just tried to use Lady.
Yeah, okay, so it has been caught there. The... Lady getting a trap card is, you know, that is an effect, which all of which is negated. Okay, so actually hitting the Sangan summoning with the Untis there. Now we're going to go for Chandra.
I mean, Skill Drain kind of makes it into a minigame as who has the monster with the most attack points. But, like, the Tenpai deck can actually put up a big level 10 synchro with 3,500, which is bigger than all of the Labrynth cards, so...
Isn't it a bit harder to do it with Skill Drain up, though? How do we climb up?
Yeah, you'd need to somehow get access to one more material to synchro with.
It's a really rough situation for Robert here, just especially like game 1 to see that. Maybe that's not a card you would be super familiar with. Well, not familiar with, but, you know, you would expect on the turn 1 of the duel, but, you know, it's Labrynth, and why not? Makes sense to play skill drain.
I mean, Seals can bounce it, you know, and then your opponent can just set it and play it again.
Yeah, so I mean, Seals obviously is really strong because it resolves off of the, well, it's no longer on the field when it resolves, so you can activate the effect to bounce. We do bounce the skill drain, but ultimately this doesn't really completely deal with the problem.
Yeah, because, I mean, what are you going to do now? I mean, I suppose you can resolve a couple of effects, which is quite neat.
Yeah.
We're going to get to Reborn Chandra.
You can do some stuff now.
Yeah, you can synchro into something.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what.
So really strong here, actually, with the Seals, because it gets to attribute itself for cost, remember? So that's why it dodges the skill drain, per se.
And we're still in the battle phase.
Yeah.
I'm wondering even if you needed to enter the battle phase there, because this... I don't know. It's a bit weird sometimes just skipping your battle phase as when you've got a big monster and your opponent's got a small one, but...
I don't think it would really amount to anything, right? Ultimately, if you don't go to the battle phase, well, they just go Seals in the end phase, and then they summon out the monster anyway.
Yeah, that's worse, actually, isn't it? Because then you
won't get to reset
get
the skill drain
back. Yeah, I was thinking it would just prevent them from synchro summoning now, but...
All right, we've got Bident here being made during the battle phase.
There's only been one attack declared so far, right? But we're going to be able to synchro now into something big.
Yeah, this is most likely like the replay window, I suppose, for Lady's attack here. But yeah, we can keep playing. Getting a search here for another quick play, and yeah, we can sync again on resolution.
This is quite a lot to like bounce the skill drain and then carry on.
Yeah, still finding a way to like maneuver around the skill drain. Typically, a lot of decks might just find themselves instantly scooping in that scenario, but Robert's got some plays here. And up into the 10.
Opponent's effects during the battle phase.
All right. Establishing something here on Robert's side, which is, you know, decent. And looks like we're crashing
now. Has that got 3,000 as well? I thought it was 3,500.
Yeah.
I guess I just made it up.
It's just a bit awkward, right? Because it doesn't feel like much was achieved there, right? Because then we've essentially just reset the game back to the 3 set cards, and, well, we know one of them is the skill drain. It's just going to be reestablished now.
Well, it looks like James is playing a more traditional Labrynth deck, right? So normally, like, the newer versions of Labrynth have got a lot of engine, and you're probably not... They're not just going to be found in situations where they run out of monsters.
Mm-hmm.
But James doesn't have any monsters, and unless one of those traps is welcome or big welcome, which they weren't last turn, he's not going to have any monsters, so skill drain, you know, you can negate, but you're still going to be taking damage. I mean, maybe it's he's not out of the woods just yet.
It really is just about simplifying the game state for Labrynth here as best as they can, and, you know, getting into large monsters that can circumvent the skill drain. I think you definitely want to put skill drain up now on the normal summon here. Yep, okay. Yeah, so reestablish the skill drain. Most expensive skill drain of his life, as we pay 2,000 really to make this stick.
I think I'd pay 2,000 for skill drain.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I think it's worth it.
I'd pay half my life.
Yeah, we did see pay half life established in last round's feature, which I believe you can go back and check on the YouTube channel for those of you interested. There's still ways to catch some of the action if you haven't already. Just waking up or seeing the action for the first time today.
So is Robert going to push a bit more with an extra copy of... No? Okay. It looks like he's just passing. Oh, and I see we're seeing Imperm in the skill drain column, I reckon. I don't think it does anything, because you can never negate a card with Imperm while skill drain is active. So.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because, you know, what you're referring to there, you actually can't successfully negate a column unless you actually negate the effect. And because skill drain is already negating everything, you don't get the bonus... column negate of Imperm as you would like to try.
It has to negate in order to negate, you know? It's I don't know how you could put it much simpler than that.
Chicken before the egg type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like a weird situation, I think, for both players, right? Because I don't think Tenpai can fully deal with skill drain. It's sort of just trying to get this chip damage in and hoping that, I suppose, James just doesn't draw into engine, which is very unlikely, I suppose.
I mean, this is a tale as old as trap cards, I feel like.
Yeah.
You can have all the trap cards you want, stopping all of your opponent's monster effects and cool plays, but until you establish some monsters, you're just going to get attacked.
Got another Sangan. Oh, no, actually, no, this is Wraiths off, I believe, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to get a Kashtira search here for another Fenrir. Sadly, not really able to do much with it. Summoning condition, of course, requires no monsters on the field. We've already got our monster just chipping away at James's life points here. But yeah, it's just a bit of a stalemate situation. Hopefully, James hasn't locked himself out of his own back row here, because sometimes that can happen with oversetting. But
is that a runic flashing fire?
There's no way, right?
I've seen some people playing it. It's kind of a spicy tech you can play to summon. You can either use it defensively, or you can use it to summon another level 4 and combine it with an Ariana and then make Gallant Granite and search Nib. Or in the side deck, you can search Lord of the Heavenly Prison.
Okay, all right.
But also, as well as doing that, you can just get Hugin out and it protects against Lightning Storm.
I see.
And Harpy's Feather Duster.
Interesting, okay. Important thing to note as well is he better make sure to enter his battle phase. Because sometimes people do forget that, and that is a legitimate concern.
You've got to skip your battle phase.
Yeah, you do actually have to attempt to enter your battle phase in order to skip the battle phase. Is that a set rotation? It is, right?
I think there's a lot of just wild cards coming out in this feature match. We've got set rotations and runic flashing fires.
Yeah, this feels like last year or something, I guess,
possible.
to some extent. But yeah, James needs to try and do some... Huh?
What is that?
That's not what I think it is it? Is that... Wait. I'm looking through his... it's simultaneous equations cannon. All right,
oh my goodness, here comes the maths.
You are a resident math expert here. You're going to have to tell us what this does. In a practical sense.
You can banish a fusion monster and 2 XYZ monsters with the same rank from your extra deck, whose combined level and ranks equal to the total number of cards in both players' hands on the field. Then you can apply the...
Keep going.
Then you can apply this effect. Return 2 of your banished monsters to the extra deck, whose combined level and rank equal to the level or rank of one face-up monster your opponent controls. Then banish all cards they control? My goodness. So you have to banish a couple of cards from your extra deck, and then you can return 2 of them that equal, whose combined level or rank equal to the rank of one face-up monster your opponent controls. And if you do that successfully, then you get to banish your opponent's entire field.
Okay, so we've got Baguska, and okay, that's 4. And is it resolving? Okay, I don't have the maths on that, but it looks like it's worked out. We have resolved a simultaneous equation cannon on stream
that is a
today.
Nutty card. You do have to devote your whole extra deck to it, right?
Yeah,
because you need to have a bunch of different levels and ranks and...
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe if you know the common levels, like if you need to deal with a 7, I mean, you can't do it for a level 1 monster, but...
Is there a formula for this? There must be,
well,
right?
It's a simultaneous equation. That's it's in the name. But yeah. No, I mean, it's probably a bit weird because you've got to count the number of cards in the hand and field. And like, if your opponent pays a cost or something in response, I'm not sure if you banish it. Like, I think you banish on the effect, so your opponent could change the number of cards. This card could get really complicated. Like,
yeah, if they like quick play establish a different monster to...
Well, no, because it counts the cards in hand and field, but you're right. If they like did a quick play to search a card, then the quick play would so if they activated like Wanted, then the Wanted would still be on the field. Then they'd have another card in your hand, so you'd have to add 1 to the total. So you have to have a bunch of synchro monsters with different levels.
Okay, so the hard part has been done anyway.
It's resolved.
So yeah, it's resolved. It actually did banish 3 or 4 cards here. But Robert is confident in this match, I guess. Is still opting to try and push through here, not go to game 2, despite the... well, I mean, Skildrin is still established. We got 4 back row. I guess James doesn't actually have anything established as of yet.
I want to see if he's like mathed it out, because he played Prosperity as well, so he got rid of 6 cards. Like, did he know which 6? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like, oh, in this matchup, I'm not going to need my 12 or something, right? Like,
this is
I don't
crazy, yeah.
All right, well, still trying to push through here and do something. Did we not? Yeah, okay, yeah, we are, yeah.
Is this main phase 2? I think we've been lost in the simultaneous equation cannon.
Lost in the simultaneous sauce. It's
like, that was cool. Like, it just banishes the whole field. Like, imagine doing that to someone. They do their big combo, and then you just go, okay, I'll just set a card and just banish your whole field. Like,
James is in a bit of a tricky spot here. He's essentially just having to constantly use trap after trap every turn just to protect his life points, because he is getting quite low now, and can't seem to stick a Lovely or Lady, which is really what you need to try and do on the skill drain just to win the field here.
yeah, it just needs to draw some beat stick, or you can, you know, set an Ariana with its 2,100 defense.
Yeah, that works as well. You can resolve Ariana too if you want, by bouncing it with Big Welcome to dodge skill drain, essentially. There's a rivalry he's got set, which is, I think must have been set from like turn 1, right?
Wow.
Is that a scoop?
That's, yeah, he's only on 2 equation cannons. Did James gesture to himself or his opponent?
We shall be finding out now. All right. And yeah, I'm really curious to see what James has opted to do here. If he's decided to go first with his traps or just let Tenpai go first. Okay, he is indeed letting him start. That's a good, very good beginning. One-off terraforming gets you into the... oh, I guess we've already got Sangan summoning. So we get to do a turn 1 seals with Fenrir.
Yeah, it's one of those things about playing Go second deck, isn't it? Like, most of the time you kind of know how to side and what to side in and out, whereas Tenpai, you just really don't.
Yeah, I guess so. I think, like, by now, Tenpai has sort of, you know, cemented itself as, like, a real threat in the format. You would hope by now players who are EXO somewhat deep into the tournament would have a strategy in place, right?
Yeah,
some kind of side
you just
pattern
look
for
into your
Tenpai.
opponent's soul and just see whether they're going to make you go first or not.
Tell me. Not the set rotation.
Get out the Millennium Eye. And
that's really unfortunate, by the way, because set rotation's the hand again, so 3 field spells.
yeah, but you can dump the set rotation, right? There it goes. You can hold it to get rid of your opponent's Labrynth that James is not even playing, so... I guess there's no need to play it. If you don't have the furniture, it's not, like, searchable, so...
All right, so just cycling through here as we get the spell. The spell is going to get us another name here, and yeah, I guess Seal's Pass works
Is
well.
Seal's even strong?
It's not, that's the thing, but there's genuinely just no, like, thing you can do with Tenpai going first. That's kind of the main issue.
Because, like, it's not even guaranteed your opponent's going to put any face-up cards on the field.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's siding 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Storm, and a Duster. I feel like if he had opened Lightning Storm, which, I mean, I think you definitely still play, even if you do expect to go first. It just seems like really worth it in this matchup. I think he would have actually decided, okay, I'm going to go third if I have Lightning Storm.
This is kind of interesting from Robert. It looks like he's going to make... Seals. Oh, I thought he was going to make the big guy, but I don't remember the name. What's the other Tenpai dragon that's not level 7?
The level 10 one?
Yeah.
It's level 10 Tenpai.
Level 10 Tenpai.
Yeah.
But it's really threatening.
It is, yeah.
It's terrifying, because once you get into the battle phase, your opponent cannot use any card effects. So if you just have that on the field, and your opponent's got to set a bunch of traps, you can just say enter battle phase, and they have to flip everything to deal with it.
True.
And, like, you also have to be able to deal with it with the Sangan summoning. So, I mean, it would be a bit out there, but I'd be here for it.
We could expect James to maybe try and mirror this Labrynth play of, you know, setting and passing, but I'm worried that, like, the Seals might get a little bit out of control, right? Because you go Seals, bounce the field spell, get a resource out of your deck. Next turn, you've got Sangan summoning live again, plus it also gets to the search from the activation. So you get to, like, do quite a lot here.
Sangan summoning's just once per turn. It doesn't need to go back to your hand. You can just use it again.
Oh, it's just once per turn. I mean, you probably bounce it to your hand anyway, just to like keep it safe for the.
It's
oh
been
wow!
Flashing fired.
Yeah. Okay. Forcing out that seals here does put it back into his hand. Just keep it out of the way from risk of being hit by anything from James going second here.
I wonder what James's plan is with the flashing fire, because I don't really see what it achieves all that much.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Like, is there something that you're going to put on the field that you really don't want to get bounced? Because if you just, your opponent can't just pass with the seals, because I think you can only use it during your opponent's turn.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's got something he wants to do. The seals is going to interrupt.
All right, let's take a look here. It seems somewhat important. Oh, no, wow, okay. Yeah, just going for set 3, I suppose.
I get it. I don't really get what the point of I think like he might have just done that anyway. Even if you hadn't played the flashing fires, you could just have the flashing fire face down.
I'm trying to compute like what that actually helped, but it doesn't feel like it did much, did it?
No, I'm just a little bit confused. Is that a welcome?
Yeah,
I'm getting better at upside down cards with James's play.
All right, welcome into a lady.
Are we going to see Skill Drain Mark II?
Yeah, so the terrifying thing here is getting the D barrier out of the deck, which is probably what Robert is going to not be too pleased with.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit slower because you don't have the coup clock to just activate the D barrier immediately. You'd have to wait like a turn or two. So I don't think you need to be too scared. You know, Tenpai don't need that many turns to end the game.
One's all they need.
Well, actually, it took Robert like 7.
Last time, to be fair, yeah, it was actually like a lot more. All right.
It's the longest feature match in terms of turns.
This might be the longest Tenpai feature match as well of all time, right?
I mean, there's something to be said for decks that end games quickly, because in a long event, you know, you do
need that lunch break.
That extra time in between rounds. But it's like, yeah, but if you're playing like, you know, hour-long games every round, you're going to be knackered by the end of it, and you might start making mistakes, whereas you can kind of have a little bit less to do each round and then maybe be a bit more fresh going into the later rounds of the event if you make it.
Got to work on your Yu-Gi-Oh stamina, you know?
Exactly. Well, it's 'cause it's tiring, you know?
Yeah. All right, going up into the 10 here. What do you think of the formality that is like summoning the monster to the field before sending the materials? Is that protocol that you're happy with?
I mean, technically, it doesn't get summoned before you send the things to the grave.
Yeah.
But you do have to say what it is before you start sending things to the grave. So,
okay.
Like, technically, you don't just put things in the grave and then look at your extra deck and decide what you can summon out of it. You do have to pick the card and then send things to the grave and then summon it. But it's all kind of moot.
This is interesting here because James actually didn't decide to use the D barrier when, like, basically in the standby phase. But I think you would be just a little bit scared that they can chain. So maybe just let them commit into the Synchro Monster, then D barrier. And what we're seeing here is, in response to the D barrier, we're going to droplet, sending Mourner out the hand here to negate and half the attack of Lady. So it won't be able to get a trap from the deck here.
Yeah, it kind of stops it twice. Almost.
Yeah.
And you can banish it now with Fenrir because it's no longer untargetable.
Yeah, the targeting destruction protection, is it destruction protection? It's just targeting, right?
It is both.
Oh, it's both, right? Yeah. It's actually like a huge point of the resilience that Labrynth can offer, just having these big monsters.
Yeah, it makes it very annoying because a lot of, like, Labrynth doesn't have that many cards to target. So, like, doesn't have that many monsters that you'd want to negate the effect of anyway. So all of these cards are kind of dead in your hand, like Effect Veil or Imperm, and the fact that one of the main monsters also can't be Impermed is also kind of annoying.
This is looking pretty good here. As in the battle phase, we're activating our quick play, special summoning, and yeah, we just need to keep bringing out monsters here. We're going to revive now.
Are we going to see another simultaneous equation cannon? I'm here for it. Or a torrential tribute.
You better have something here, because it's looking like this could be the end of the duel.
Yeah, you don't even need to synchro. Well, once you've got your one synchro monster in play, like, you don't need to do any more synchro summoning. You can just attack with it.
Okay.
It's got a lot of stats.
Recruiting out another monster here, dealing that damage. That is it. Wow, the end of the